Craig positions himself in front of the pile of snow. He is in the stance phase. His feet are spread shoulder-width apart and his core is engaged, giving him a stable base of support to carry out the next phases of the task. Next, Craig will begin to lower his shovel to the ground until the tip of the shovel touches the ground and begins to move towards the pile of snow. This action causes the muscles of Craig's core and upper extremity to generate the force and momentum that will be required to lift the snow. This is known as the preparatory phase. Once Craig's shovel makes contact with the snow, he has entered the movement phase. During this action phase of the task, Craig is using the force and movement that he generated in the preparatory phase to lift the snow off of the ground. He is moving in one fast motion in order to keep the snow balanced on the shovel, while simultaneously tipping the shovel in order to initiate dumping the snow. Once the snow begins to fall off of Craig's shovel, he has entered the follow-through phase. The muscles of his core and upper extremity generate the force required to decrease the velocity of the shovel. This deceleration allows Craig to maintain control of the shovel without letting it hit the ground. Craig is now in the recovery phase. He is bringing the shovel back to midline and regaining the balance required to initiate the phases of the shoveling action all over again. In the stance phase, Craig's trunk is slightly flexed. His shoulders are internally rotated and slightly abducted. His left humerus is slightly flexed and his right humerus is extended. Both elbows are slightly flexed. His left forearm is pronated and his right forearm is supinated in order to hold the shovel. His left wrist is extended and his right wrist is neutral. His digits 2 through 5 are flexed at the MCP, PIP, and DIP joints. Both thumbs are in palmar abduction in order to hold the handle. His left thumb is flexed at the IP joint and is slightly flexed at the MCP joint. His right thumb is extended at the IP joint and in neutral at the MCP joint. During the preparatory phase, to lower the shovel, Craig's left shoulder adducts and externally rotates while the elbow extends. His right shoulder extends. To move the shovel towards the snow, both shoulders begin to flex. During the movement phase, to lift the pile of snow, the trunk extends slightly, both shoulders continue to flex, and the elbows flex slightly. To dump the snow, the right shoulder internally rotates, abducts, and the elbow flexes. The right forearm pronates and the right wrist extends slightly. The left shoulder externally rotates and the left elbow flexes. The left wrist slightly extends. In order to counteract the movements of the movement phase, the follow-through and recovery phase show the left shoulder internally rotating and adducting, the right shoulder extending, the left elbow beginning to extend, and the right forearm beginning to supinate.